Yo, we're in the February dip, so I thought I would send you some BLAMs and some lesson planning that I've been doing with my piano students that might work for you, that might inspire you, kind of lift you up in the dip. So anyways, let's dive into it. I'm gonna bring you into the studio. We're gonna take a look at how I go from rhythm song clapback to rhythm song scribe to a melody transcription to a harmonization and a complete original 4-measure song in just under 20 minutes. Let's go do it. You might dig this. I've set up a standing desk where I'm teaching from, which allows me to dance around, and I can even go sit on the drum set and play with my students now, so I thought you would dig that. Sweet, so the very first step, it's a 4-step process to get to a 4-measure original song in under 20 minutes. This combines your BLAM with your skills and drills. They're doing all kinds of ear work and brain work. So step number 1 is I just do old school rhythm song clapback. I warm them up with some 2-bar phrases, you know, quarter, quarter, half note, eighth note, half note, depending on the level of student you're working with. So just 2-bar phrases, just to get their ears warmed up, to just jump them straight into the, into the BLAM. And so I'll do 2-measure phrases. I'll do 4 rounds. That takes less than 5 minutes. That gets your student engaged. Step number 2 is I then say, okay, dude, we're gonna do 4-measure long rhythm song clapbacks. So go ahead and get a blank piece of paper or a dry erase board and a marker and go ahead and write 4 blank staves. If you need to do a quick review with your student, depending on the age range, like whole note, hold it, half note, quarter note, maybe you need to do that. Generally, I try to keep this exercise well within the bounds of what they can hear and what they can write, because the end goal is an original composition. So I do like 2 warm-up rounds of rhythm song scribe. You can do a 4-measure one. If you're dealing with ages 6 or 7 or 8, maybe you just want to do a 2-measure song. That's totally fine too. So again, same thing, whole note, hold it, quarter, 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 eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, half note. That would be a good rhythm song scribe level for like age 9 to 12, right? 9, 10 in there. So I do 2 rounds of rhythm song scribe. They write it down. Remember, every round of rhythm song scribe, you get 3 listens. Your student writes down the rhythm, and then you have them clap and sing it back to you. Okay, so once they've done 2 rounds of that, you go into the 3rd round, and now you're at about minute 10 of this first 10 minutes of your lesson. I go into that 3rd and final round. I give them the rhythm song. They scribe it. They clap and sing it back to them, and then I give them exactly 1 minute to write a melody in C hand position. I'm doing piano right now, but you could sing this. It'd be just as easy, whatever. But let's say you're working with the piano student, C hand position, and the rule is they have to use the rhythm and they have to stay within C hand position. And then I give them exactly 1 minute. If they're younger, I might give them 2 minutes to write the melody. But like I just did this exercise with Kenta, he wrote a melody in, 28 seconds. So they don't need much time. So then, now you're on to step 3. Now they're writing a melody using the rhythm song. So if I jump over to my piano for a second, they're down here and they're going, they're like, whole note, hold it, quarter, 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 eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, whole note, hold it. So that might be the melody, right? So let's say that's the melody, dig it. Then I have them say the rhythm while they play the melody, and they have to do that 3 times because you want to get them into the flow. It's going to take them 3 times before they can actually play the melody and repeat it, right? Final step. So now you're on to step 4. You're 15 minutes into your lesson. Might even be as much as 20 minutes, depending on the age, right? And so now you're into the final step of your lesson, which is, okay, I'm going to decide the chords you do. So if your age is 6 to 9 or 6 through 8, you're only going to pick a 1 chord or a 5 chord. You might add a 4 chord depending on how advanced they are. But I'm going to pick the first chord, 1 chord, or a C chord, and I'm going to pick the last chord, 1 chord, or a C chord. And mind you, you're listening to their melody, so based on what melody notes they do, you might have to change these chords, right? And then you're going to take exactly 1 minute to decide what chords you want to go there. So the student, again, has a 1 minute timer, you know, and you say, ready, set, go, fill in the chords. Now, if they're not advanced enough to be able to play and do the melody, no worries. They can decide the chord. You can play guitar with them or play piano with them. And so they can, or you can even demonstrate what it sounds like. So the ultimate result of this, by the time you're done with the 4th step in this whole mega game, is that they end up with some kind of chord progression that goes with their melody, you know, whatever the melody is, 8th note, quarter, I think that's what I had, right? Boom. Now, dig it. Here's the bonus round. And this is what I do with like my adult students. I do them with my 12 and ups. I'll even do it with I have some 10 and 11-year-olds that are really quite advanced. I then challenge them as a turbo challenge to transpose this to the key of G. And I actually, again, give them only 2 minutes to transpose their melody and transpose the harmony and play it in the key of G. So to be clear, ages 6 through 8, no need to transpose. Ages 9 to 12, you decide if you're going to have them transpose, but all of my students could do it. And I bet you yours could too. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that inspires. That's my going from rhythm song clapback to a finished composition in 20 minutes or less. And it's a super fun way to move yourself through the dip and to empower your students so that they feel like they are being creative and sort of directing the lesson, even though you know that you're building all kinds of fluencies and blamming them up. Okay, have fun.